Alright, so I want to make this video about my personal safety tips for new riders. This is not a tutorial. This is not like a tutorial on how to ride a motorcycle or nothing like that. It's just this is assuming you know how to ride, or maybe even if you don't, which will lead to my first thought on the whole thing of being able to ride safe. Take a riding course. I mean, I think the California Highway Patrol even offers a motorcycle riding course, but there's different ones around, and they're probably like $250 is what mine costs. It's like a 2-day thing. It's some classroom stuff and some out in the parking lot stuff where they let you use a smaller motorcycle to teach you on that. The biggest benefit of taking a motorcycle course is that they test you on the last day, and they test you like a written test, and then they also test you on the motorcycle. And if you are able to pass that test, which isn't that hard, they give you like this certificate saying that you passed. You could then take that to the DMV, and you are now required to do the behind the wheel, behind the handlebars test. You could skip that. All you have to do is the written test at the DMV. And from my understanding, that DMV test for motorcycle riding is, even people who have been riding for a long time that are experienced can't even pass it. Like, I guess it's really hard to pass theirs. So even just for that alone, take a motorcycle riding course, because it's just like a way better, easier way of being able to get your M1 license. You want your M1 license. You don't want to ride around a motorcycle without that. I guess another one would be to hop on YouTube. Get on YouTube and search up motorcycle accident compilations or something like that. I watch these things all the time. And a buddy of mine one time was a motorcycle rider, and he came into my apartment and was like, "Dude, turn that off. I don't want to watch that." And like, I get it, but the thing is I wasn't watching it for weird reasons. Like, I enjoy watching people get hurt or anything like that. It's more like, the more accidents you see, the more I saw anyways, the more I thought to myself, okay, who was in the wrong in that particular clip? Was it the motorcyclist? Was it the car? Was it both? And my next thought would be, well, how could that have been prevented? You know, and I like studying videos like that. I would rewind videos and watch them over again, because I want to know, how would this guy have prevented this motorcycle accident? And the reason I did all this, because like, this is even before I even started like trying to get my motorcycle or anything. I wanted to burn all of these scenarios into my mind, so that I knew that if I ever got in a tough situation, that like I would remember situations and be able to adapt or respond properly. If after you watching a bunch of them you still feel like, well, I still want to get a motorcycle anyways, cool, well then keep going. So like, I've been kind of riding around these past few days and trying to like collect my thoughts on what would be different tips that I could have. So I'm just going to cut in a bunch of different clips from different days and just kind of try to make a video that way. So yeah, you want to count the seconds of how far you are away from the car in front of you. I think it's kind of obvious how to do that, but some people don't know. Like, as soon as this truck in front of me passes that light right there, you start counting. Let's say it passes it now. 1, 2, 3. That was a 3-second distance that I have in front of me. Let's say this little sign right here. 0, 1, 2, 3. That's a 3-second delay, following distance. That's good. You want to keep it like that. Always check yourself too, to make sure you're far enough away from cars, because it's not so easy to just come to a complete stop on a motorcycle in an emergency. Slamming on your brakes on a motorcycle is not smart. You don't ever want to slam your brakes on a motorcycle, because your wheels will lock up and you'll go freaking flying. You know, and if you have ABS on your motorcycle, that's the safest way to go. If you have a choice, get ABS on your motorcycle, anti-lock brakes, because in an emergency, in a pinch, where the milliseconds matter and someone pulls out in front of you or whatever, if you were to slam on your front brake here, and then your lower brake, your back brake down there, and slam it on, the ABS will kick in and it will not lock up your wheels. It'll slow both the front and the back brake at the same time, even out the braking system and give you a better chance of not crashing into whatever it is that was there. So ABS is the way to go. You don't always get ABS when you buy a motorcycle, but if you don't, then you need to practice using your front brake and your back brake in unison together in a practice mode where you're not panicking, but you're practicing like having to go a certain speed and brake immediately before a marker. Let's say you put up a cone in an empty parking lot and you're like, okay, I'm going to speed up, and then I'm going to brake at the last second, just to get in the habit of learning how to like use your front and back brake together in unison to be able to safely stop and not fly off of your motorcycle. All right, lane changes. This is all basic stuff. Again, it's the same for a car. You got to do it this way. You just have to do it this way. Okay, let's say I want to change lanes here to the one on the left. Once I decide that I want to change lanes, I put my turn signal on. I haven't even looked yet to see if it's open. Once I decide, turn signal. After that, I check my mirrors. I check the mirror. If it looks clear, cool. But that doesn't mean I can go yet. The last step is to actually turn my head before I turn to make sure there is nobody actually there in my blind spot. My blind spot being behind my field of vision to my left, and what my mirror can't catch either. That's the blind spot. You have to always check your blind spots. I do this in my car as well, because way too many times you think it's clear and it ain't clear. Turn signal, left turn signal, mirror. There's a car back there, it's black. It's pretty far back, I'm not gonna worry about it. There's nothing there, okay, cool. That's the way you change lanes. You wanna make that into a habit right off the bat. Right off the bat, make that into a habit. Even when you know for a fact there's nobody there, just do it. Do it because you want it to be something that you do without even thinking about it. It just becomes natural. Because when you can make it a default movement without even thinking about it, one day when you're not paying that much attention, you're going to continue to do it, and you're going to, right before you turn lanes, you're going to see, oh shoot, there is a car right there. I was about to hit a car. I was about to merge right into this car. And it's because you made it into a habit. You didn't even have to think about it. You did the right thing off the bat because you've been training yourself to have the safety features. And that's something you want to develop off the bat. All right, here's my strategy as far as a lane splitting is this. You never want to go faster than the traffic. I mean, you obviously you have to go faster than traffic to split a lane, but you never want to go extremely faster than the speed of the traffic. You want to go a little bit faster to be able to get by them and all that, but you don't want to be racing by people either, because this is where accidents can happen. And as a matter of fact, a lot of the videos that I watch, compilation videos of motorcycle crashes, a lot of the lane splitting videos where people get in accidents while lane splitting are due to the fact that they're going too damn fast. So if the traffic is going this slow, yeah, don't go that fast. For example, this right here, I could go through these two cars right here easily. If they get a little bit closer, no. But I kind of wait for it to be a more obvious open path, and then I go. These guys, I could easily get in between them, so I go for it. If there's two cars and you're gonna go in between them, and you think you have more than enough room to fit, go for it. If you doubt it, if you think to yourself like, I might fit, don't even go for it. Don't even go for it. Just wait until one of them sees you and they give you some room, or just wait until like one goes faster than the other and then pass them up that way. Look, I'm not going fast at all, because any one of these cars could not possibly see me and change lanes right in front of me without putting the turn signal on. It's very possible. It happens all the freaking time. Okay? So you got to be ready for that. If I was right here in this guy's blind spot, which I'm in his blind spot right now, he can't see me through his mirrors, so he might not even know that I'm there. If I'm in someone's blind spot and they pull into me like that out of nowhere, I got to react. You know what my reaction is going to be? Obviously I'm going to turn, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn my handlebars toward the car that's about to hit me. I turn toward the car. This sounds, I'm going to steer my motorcycle. It sounds like the opposite thing of what you would do, but it's called countersteering. And countersteering really is a thing that you have to be aware of. Countersteering means if I turn to the right, the steering wheel's to the right, I push this one, and with the other hand I pull with this one, I'm turning to the right. What's going to happen is it's going to make the motorcycle tilt to the left, and I'm actually going to be turning to the left. So if like I want to get away from this car that's turning into me, switch gears down a little bit. This guy out of nowhere starts pulling into me, gonna hit me because they don't see me. I steer left, so I pull this handlebar with this hand, and I push with this one, this hand. In other words, I'm steering to the left, and what's gonna happen is it's gonna tilt the motorcycle to the right, and I'm gonna be able to get away from that person. It's the counter steer. It's kind of like a Rockstar world, but it happens on a bicycle as well. You just don't know what's happening, because on a bicycle, when you're riding a bicycle, you're leaning into the turns, and you think that, oh, I'm leaning left, so that means that I'm turning left. No, you're actually steering right and leaning left, and so that makes your whole body move to the left. But you're actually steering right, because right now I'm going to steer left. I'm going to steer this way, and look what's going to happen, okay? I'm going to briefly steer to the left. See that? Like I tilted to the right. I tilted to the right. I'm steering left. I tilt to the right. Okay, now I'm going to steer right. Steering right. I tilt it to the left. I steer right. I tilt to the left. And that's what I'm doing. I'm steering one way, and it makes me lean the opposite way. You have to know this. You have to be aware of this, because in an emergency, you have to know which way to turn your steering wheel, because it takes a little bit of time. If I wanted to lean my body, it takes longer to lean my body so that I can turn than it does for me to just steer to the right and then I turn. It's way faster to do it that way. And you have to have that knowledge of which way to turn the handlebars, so that in an emergency you don't have to think. It's just an automatic response. If this truck was to turn right into me right now, I'm going to point it, I'm going to steer to the truck so that it makes me lean the other way and I can escape this guy's path. I saw this video of this guy in the mountains that he was just cruising around going fast, and he miscalculated the turn, and he was going toward a truck coming the opposite direction, a semi truck or something like that, and it freaked him out. And so what he did is he tried to get away from this as much as possible, but he turned the steering wheel the wrong way. He turned the steering wheel away from the oncoming truck. And what happened is that it sent his motorcycle tilting to the left. So then he straightened out for a second and then did the same exact thing again. But now he's closer to the truck, oncoming truck. It freaks out even more. He tilts his handlebars to the right to escape this truck, and it sends his motorcycle leaning to the left. He gets even closer. This guy hits this thing almost direct on. Let's see if I can find this video so I can post it as an example. If you can ingrain that into your brain, to where something you don't even have to think about, you just know. Want to go left? Steer right. Want to go right? Steer left. Then in an emergency where you panic, that's what most people tend to do, is panic during an emergency. Your body, your mind will automatically know which way to steer it. Okay, oh, these lines right here. Oh my God. So you run into these lines here on the freeway every once in a while. It's like the line right here, that's like, I don't know, maybe it was the way that the old freeway was. So stay away from those lines. Don't ever ride on those. Some are wider than others in the separation. You never want to ride on those. They will throw your motorcycle off and you'll go flying. You'll fall over. Because if it's here, you just pass it up like that. As much as possible, you pass it up like that. You just go through it like this. Because if you stay on that line, it could easily throw you off your motorcycle. It's the same thing with train tracks. When you're going over train tracks, you always want to go directly when the train tracks are like this. Well, okay. When the train tracks are like this, what is that, perpendicular? No, not perpendicular. The opposite of, well, perpendicular, I guess, yeah. You want to cross them as much as possible when they're like this. If the train tracks you're crossing are at an angle more like this, that's when it becomes dangerous. Because if you hit these train tracks, you could easily fall over. So you always want to try to, even if the train tracks are like this, you want to bring your motorcycle in and then go in, pass them up that way, and then keep going. You don't ever want to go with the train tracks like that. It'll cause you to fall, for sure, for sure. The next thing I was going to get into is staying out of people's blind spots. Staying out of every single car that's out here. You don't want to be in their blind spot. Right now, the truck in front of me, I'm not in his blind spot. I'm far back. If he looks at his mirror, he'll see me. But these cars here, you have to assume that they don't know you're there. You have to assume that they can't see you. They can't see you. So know that this car right here can't see me. Pretend like they can't see you. I'm in his blind spot completely. But if I move up a little bit to this position, now I'm not in this blind spot. That person, if they wanted to change lanes to the right, they can see me because I'm ahead of them. I'm not in their blind spot. This guy right here, this truck, the Tundra, I'm in their blind spot. They might not know I'm here, so I'm aware. If he turns into the lane thinking that it's clear, I turn my steering wheel to the left, point it toward him, and it'll make my motorcycle lean to the right, and I can escape and not hit the automobile. But it's because right now I'm in this Honda's blind spot. Right now I'm in this truck's blind spot, but he just came from behind me. So he is seeing that I'm in this lane. So more than likely he's going to be cool. He's not going to turn into me. He'd be a freaking weirdo if he did, because he knows that I'm in this lane at the moment. This car may not know that I'm here. So I'm in this car's blind spot. So there's a little bit of danger there. The car behind me for sure knows that I'm here. If you look at this mirror, like, he's all the way back there. He's giving me space. That's cool. It's appreciated. But you want to get out of people's blind spots. I mean, this person's, until right now, now they can see me. So you just got to position yourself always in a spot where people that are around you are aware that you're there. I wouldn't want to chill behind next to this car right here in this position right here. This is danger. If you're driving at a normal speed on the freeway behind this car like this, this is dangerous. They might not see you and they could easily just turn into you because they're a dick. So get out of people's blind spots. It's a big important lesson. You don't want to be in people's blind spots at all. You want to always be out of their blind spots. Even this truck in front of me, just because they have a rear view mirror doesn't mean they're using it. They might not know that I'm there. You always want to keep a distance between you and the car in front of you. Next tip I have is your jacket, your helmet. Get yourself a helmet for sure. You have to in California. And you want to get yourself a nice jacket. You know, you want to wear it. You never know. I'd recommend not buying a motorcycle jacket that's black. Like a leather black, badass looking jacket. Like, yeah, are they cool? Yes, they're cool looking. They are. but they're also not that visible, especially at night. If you're wearing a black jacket and you got a black motorcycle at night, there's going to be a lot of people that are not going to see you. And the thing is that there's already people that don't see you in the daylight. They just don't see you in the daylight, but at night even more so. So why increase the chance of an accident? It doesn't make sense. In my brother's motorcycle riding course, this instructor told him, you know, the same thing, like no need to get a cool leather black motorcycle jacket. He's like, this is what I wear. And it was like this neon green with reflectors on it jacket, and he's like, this is it, this is what I wear. Yeah, it's not cool looking, but I don't want to die. I'd rather be safe and live than be dead but with a cool jacket on. So here we go, splitting lanes, splitting lanes, splitting lanes. So these two cars are next to each other. More than likely they see each other, right? So it's like, I feel like that's kind of safer for me to split lanes that way. Okay, I feel like this guy might be letting me in because he's giving me some space right there. Right here, turn signal, turning left. And when you're splitting lanes, the reason why I do the turn signal as I'm going in between the cars is because, like, man, if you're not paying attention to your mirrors, there could be another motorcycle rider that's splitting lanes right next to you, right here. And so, like, if I decide, like, oh, I'm going to split this lane right here with these, in between these cars, cool. And if I just go, little do I know there's a motorcycle rider that's been splitting lanes as well. I'm going to go right in front of this dude and we're going to get into an accident. But if I'm going to split lanes in between these cars and I put my turn signal on first, it gives a better idea to a motorcycle rider that is next to you that you don't even know about, that came out of nowhere. It will give him a little bit more of a reaction time, like, oh look, this guy's putting his turn signal on, he might just go ahead and either turn lanes or lane split. Let me be watchful, this is all safety shit. Another thing I want to say is that, like, you gotta ride within your experience level. If you are a new rider and you're hanging out with more advanced riders, don't let these guys try to, you know, bully you or make fun of you that you're not going fast enough, that you suck. Don't even let that get to you, because you don't want to push yourself harder than you can handle. You will get into an accident. When you're on a motorcycle, you're just going to go naturally faster than the cars on the street. So you have to be aware that, like, you're kind of speeding through traffic. Like, anytime I'm on the freeway, almost every single time I'm on the freeway, I'm going faster than every single other automobile on the freeway. Almost every single time. So you have to know that. So you have to know that these cars that are driving, they don't know you're back there. They don't know you're in the back, speeding up, coming up. So you can't be too mad at them if you're hauling ass, you're going fast, and then they kind of swerve into you or whatever. Yeah, those are bad habits that most drivers have. You're not supposed to be doing all that. Yes, you're right, but also you can't knock them either. Like, I watch tons of these, like, motorcycle crash videos all the time, and it's like a lot of those videos I watch, before the accident happens, I'm looking at these guys with their little motorcycle cams, saying to myself, that guy's going way too fast. Already off the bat, he's going way too fast. And sure enough, boom, something happens, and then they get all pissed off at the driver. It's like, yes, the driver should have been paying attention. Yes, they should have looked at the mirrors. Yes, they should have put the turn signal on, of course. They should have turned their head before they changed lanes. No one's arguing that. But at the same time, you're going too fast. You came out of nowhere for them. For them, you came out of nowhere. So you have to always be aware that these drivers are not going to be the safest drivers in the world. They're just not. So you have to have that up your sleeve as in an emergency to say, like, I know how to respond. This guy comes at me, I'm responding that way. Let's pretend that this guy was going to pull out on me right here in the black car. He's pulling out. Oh shit! Boom! I just quickly changed to the left. Like, you have to be aware of that. You have to, in your mind, already have that in, already be knowing that's a possibility that can happen. Yeah, if you're gonna split lanes, try to do it as safely as possible. These guys are all giving me more than enough space, which is super cool. This guy, not so much. But it's okay. I got enough room to get by anyways. If this guy pulls out on me, boom. I steered to the right, and then I went to the left.